y'all, it's me Alex. Today I am here with my March-April favorites video. It's coming a tiny bit late, but I don't think it's actually outside of the realm of reasonable length of time to put up a favorites video. So, you know that this year I've been doing this bi-monthly so that I can maybe make them a little bit longer, do a few more videos in between the months, and actually have some variety in between the months of things that I've tried. I'm also going to be doing a little update on my Pan That palette at the end of this video, because I figured with the number of video ideas that I have / my lack of ability to be a functional YouTuber and put things up consistently, that might be the best way to show y'all how things are going this month. So I have this nice little bag of favorites here. I think I have everything that I've been enjoying for the past couple months, so I'm gonna get started. Okay, so I have some palettes here that I have been enjoying. I'll go with the one that I'm wearing on my face today, which is the Anastasia Beverly Hills Modern Renaissance. This has kind of become my go-to for I'm not feeling like amazing amounts of creative with my makeup today, but I still want it to look better than just like a little tiny natural look. So this is what I'm wearing on my eyes. I also think it kind of goes with this shirt too, like in all of the red and orange tones. And honestly, with this palette, it is so pretty and I love it so much. I know that the hype has kind of like died down around it, but honestly, I don't think I've ever gotten a bad look out of this palette. I think it's always been so pretty. So today I'm wearing Railgar in my crease, Primavera on my lid, Vermeer on my inner corner, and Red Ochre on my outer corner. This is still one of my favorite palettes. It is a cult classic for a reason. The shadow formula I think is honestly so beautiful. I know a lot of people don't like the ABH formula because it's so pigmented, but that's honestly the reason why I love it so much. I love me a pigmented shadow. That is just how I work with my makeup. I know some people say less is more. For me, more is more. I've been really loving it. Obviously, I love the shade Tempera because that is like getting a little questionable. I also have some big dips in these two here. Honestly, I just choose one of like the reds or pinks or oranges over here to put in my crease and like pop one of the shimmers on my lid and I'm good to go. Ah, this palette is so good. Another palette that I've been loving and using a lot is the Festival by Juvia's Place. I got this last summer and this is what it looks like. I know people are also kind of hit or miss on this one. You either really love it or you really hate it. This is honestly such a beautiful color scheme and it's a very, very me color scheme. I love the really, really vivid like reds and pinks and oranges. I love that this orange is practically neon. I feel like you don't really have to build up these shades in order to make them vibrant. I think that they're just really gorgeous. Kind of like the other one, any look that I get out of here is pretty stunning because the colors are so vibrant. The only shade that I don't really care that much for is Keleke, but that's more because I don't really use a black shimmer. I'm sure that other people would probably enjoy it, but that's just not for me. So this is another one that I've been loving. So I'll show you the palette that I took home for spring break with me. I probably mentioned this, I think, in my last favorites video too, but it is the Pinky Rose Exotic Peacock palette. This is honestly a beautiful color scheme. I don't think I have a least favorite shade in this palette because I think they're all so pretty. I especially really love the purples and the kind of like teal, like these three teal and green shades. I think they're so pretty. I just love the number of mattes in this palette because I think what we lack in the beauty industry is colorful mattes, and this one does it very well. If you're not a huge fan of like the Menagerie Cosmetics mattes because they're a little bit more pigmented and you have to do a little bit more blending with them, these are a bit easier to blend. So if you want to try something kind of like similar to the color schemes of that, I would recommend checking out Pinky Rose Cosmetics. I personally really love both. I can't say any more about this palette. I have a 3 looks on palette with it that is on my channel, so this is just gorgeous. And I have 2 more smaller palettes that I've been using kind of off and on the past couple months. I've just kind of been all over the place with my makeup, but I am choosing the things that I've used the most. The first one that you'll have seen me do a dupe video with is the CoverGirl True Naked Smoky palette. This is what that looks like. It is obviously a dupe for the Urban Decay Naked Smoky palette, which is a really big favorite of mine, even though I don't use it as much anymore because I don't really gravitate towards those colors. But if you love that color scheme and you weren't a big fan of the shadow formula that is in the Naked palettes, this is a really good dupe for it because I think the problems that other people had with the Naked Smoky is that you really had to build up the shadows and blend them out, especially the mattes. And this one doesn't have that same problem. The shadows are a lot softer, so they're easier to work with. They're a bit more pigmented. So this is what this looks like, and It does crease a tiny bit more, but honestly, I have oily lids, not oily skin, but definitely oily lids, so any and all shadows will crease on me anyway. This one doesn't have the browns that come in the Naked Smoky palette. However, I also feel like if you're going for that palette, you're not necessarily going for it for the browns, and I know that personally I have like similar shades to those browns in other palettes, so I don't feel as though I need them for this. And so I'm honestly really happy that I found like a $12 dupe for a $54 discontinued palette. That is honestly better. This is a palette that comes with a collection that I've been loving the whole collection of. You might be able to guess it. It's the e.l.f. and J. Kissa collaboration. I have all 3 items of it. I can't find the mascara at the moment. I don't know where I put it. Oop, it's upside down. So it came with a palette, a liner, and a mascara. I'm wearing the gel liner on my lower lash line today. You may or may not be able to actually tell because I tried to like put it in the waterline, but they're like contrasting colors, so you may or may not actually be able to tell. But let me show you the palette because this is just fabulous. This is what it looks like. I love this cute color scheme. I feel like the color scheme is very J. Kissa. I'm really happy with this palette because I've tried e.l.f. eyeshadows before and I haven't been particularly impressed by them, so I was a little bit wary of this, but I also know that J. Kissa wouldn't put out anything that wasn't of good quality. She and I generally have the same taste in makeup, so I picked it up anyway and I was not disappointed. I think that this is a really good palette. e.l.f. has definitely stepped up their shadow quality, especially with their mattes, so I had their Christian Siriano palette and I felt like the mattes were very dry and the shimmers were like, I don't even know, the shimmers were just kind of weird, and I don't really get that with this. This is like 5 mattes and 2 shimmers here, and this is just honestly such like a cute color scheme. Most of these shades make a really nice one shadow look. However, I feel like you can definitely also just use all of them all together and make something really cute. I think in my like video about it, I was able to use all the shades all at once. So this is what that looks like. Also, the packaging is like so cute and I feel like I could take this anywhere. It's so cute. Back to the liner, I wanted the whole collection. I'm just kind of like, I would love to like live a day in J. Kissa's shoes because I feel like she's like so friggin' creative. Like, can she come over and do my makeup? She is so cool. I want to be friends with her. And so I got the whole collection. And so this liner was what I was kind of, well, that and the mascara is a little bit more skeptical about, but I was like, you know what, it's new for me, I'll give it a shot. And the liner is probably my least favorite of the 3, but that's not to say that I don't like it. So I did swatch it a little bit on my hand because it was kind of like getting dirty with my eyeshadow. But it is such a pretty teal shade, and it's a little bit darker, so it's kind of like if you look at it from a distance, it's like, ooh, is it teal? Is it gray? I'm not sure, but it's really cute. I did have a little bit of trouble with it at first because I felt like the pencil was very hard, but I feel like if you like warm it up on your hand, it'll go into your waterline a little bit easier. So like, that's super cute. And now I'm gonna mention the mascara, which I really wish I had because I think that would have looked really cute with this eye look. It was a really pretty brown mascara. I've tried like one mascara from e.l.f. before and it was like really disappointing, but the brush on this one was different. It's a little bit more similar to the brush from the Better Than Sex mascara, which I don't care much for the formula of the Better Than Sex mascara, but I do really like the brush because I love me a huge brush. And so it was a brown mascara and I wasn't sure if I would like it, but I've been using it a whole lot. And I feel like it adds a subtle edge to my makeup that, you know, you wouldn't normally get with a black mascara, because normally I'm a black liner, black mascara kind of person to just like go with the rest of my colorful makeup. But I feel like with the blue liner and the brown mascara, that's allowed me to play with color theory a little bit more and get a little bit more adventurous with my makeup, as though I'm not adventurous enough already. So that entire collection is really cool. I'm not sure if it's still available. I think the liner might still be available on the Ulta website. I've been loving that too. Okay, speaking of mascaras, I've been really loving the CoverGirl Lash Blast Volume. I got this because I was running out of my Milk Makeup Kush mascara and I did not want to buy another Milk Makeup Kush mascara, and I did not have the brown mascara yet. I just wanted a standard black mascara. This is what I'm wearing right now. How many times can I say the word mascara within this entire session? I would say take a shot every time I do that, but you will get alcohol poisoning. So I've been wearing this on my eyes and I've been really liking it. I remember like really enjoying this mascara when I was in high school, and honestly I'd forgotten how good CoverGirl was because when I went cruelty-free and they weren't, I obviously didn't use them for a long time. But now that they are, and I've been kind of retrying a bunch of their products, some of them are the same as what I used to use, some of them are different, and I honestly think that they're such like a slept-on drugstore brand. Like, they have a lot of really cool options. And so this is what the brush looks like. Like this, I know this mascara is like won awards and stuff. Like, it's not really anything fancy. I would use the like purple version of this, like the Fusion one, but Ulta didn't have that. But I think this does really nice things for my lashes. It's not comparable to the Kush mascara in any way. They're very different, but this still does a really good job. And I like it. Okay, so now I have like 3 blush favorites, which is really weird for me because you'll know that I haven't been the hugest into blush until recently. So I have 3 right here. I'm gonna go with the one that's been discontinued first. It's the Wet n Wild Color Icon Baked Blush. This was from their like spring summer collection last year. This is in the shade Hummingbird Hype. This is what it looks like. It's this very nice like peachy shade. Like, it could almost be a highlighter for me, but that's kind of like a little theme with this, is I love a good glowy blush. This is what it looks like. You can kind of see it. It's just very nice and peachy and very subtle, but it also adds a really nice like little tint of color and a lot of glow to my face, which is something that I really like. Like, I could almost avoid putting on highlighter when I wear this blush, so that one's really pretty. Actually, I have another one that's been discontinued. I just forgot that it is. It is the Urban Decay Afterglow Blush in Rapture. This is one I've been using for a while, but I love pairing this with all of my cool tone looks. It is just this pretty, like, I'm gonna call it a berry nude because it does have that like purpley berry tint to it, but when you actually apply it, like, it's a little bit more diffused and a little bit more natural than what you would see. So I love pairing this with like all of my like gray or purpley tone or blue tone looks, because I feel like a lot of blushes run very warm or like really like weirdly pink, and this one doesn't really do that. It runs a lot cooler, so I think this is a nice little addition. It also helps like for those looks when you might be wearing a lot of bronzer and I'm like, oh, I put on way too much bronzer, and then I put this on top and that kind of helps neutralize my skin tone. Now for a blush you can actually get, the Milani Baked Blush in Berry Amore. This is a nice little gift from my partner Case because they knew I had been lusting after this. This is what I'm wearing on my cheeks right now actually. And I really love the Milani Baked Blushes. This is where it is. You can't necessarily like see it on my hand, but that's what it looks like. This is what it looks like on my cheeks, and I think this is really nice because I love a nude blush and I love a glowy blush, and this is really both. This is like a nice little like pinky nudie shimmery blush, and again, kind of like with the Wet n Wild blush, it's something that you could put on and probably avoid putting highlight on if that's something that you want, if that's like a step that you want to skip. I never want to skip highlight as a step because I really love highlighting my face. I think this is something that you could definitely do that with. This is like my 3rd Milani blush. I have like their bright pink one and their Rose d'Oro one, which I also really love. Like, the only thing is, like, I've had Rose d'Oro for like years and I still haven't made like a dent in it, so I think that's actually probably a good thing. You know, maybe one day I'll hit pan on one of these, but I've used these like every single day for forever. Okay, I have 3 lip products, a brush, and a skincare product. Then I think we'll be done. I'm gonna go with the lip products first. These are what they look like. They kind of look similar, so I'm gonna go with the one that's different. This is the one that I have on my lips. It is the Apocalyptic Beauty Liquid Lipstick in Mojo. This came in their March beauty box, I think it was, their March look of the month. I did not unbox it on my channel because it was entitled Voodoo Queen. Well, first of all, I didn't know the theme of it until it had already been shipped. I didn't really check. The Voodoo pagan tradition is not a tradition that I'm a part of, and so I didn't feel like it was my place to like make a video about it. I still use the products, like I still enjoyed it, but I did not feel as though it was my place to make a video about it. But I did want to talk about their liquid lipstick because I surprisingly really enjoyed their liquid lipstick formula, and it's not like any other formula I've ever tried. It's this nice like red adjacent shade, kind of like a reddish nude, and it has a little bit of gold sparkle if you look really closely. It's kind of like how Sugar Pill's Trinket reveals like the gold sparkle in it. This doesn't feel like thick like any other liquid lipstick. Like, I literally just like put on some lip balm and then put this on top of it. It kind of just feels like your lips, but if you haven't put on lip balm in a little bit, it's like not uncomfortable or anything like that, but it does last pretty well, and it doesn't like cake up on itself when I reapply or anything. So this is a really, really nice formula, and I kind of want to check out their liquid lipsticks a bit more if they're all like this. The other two ones I want to mention are Hit the Dirt by Makeup Monsters. I'm sure that since they switched over to Menagerie that they have something similar, but this is just a nice like dirty nude shade. I don't know why, but the formula of this one is a little bit weirder. It's a bit thicker than the other liquid lipsticks I have by them, but this is what it looks like. I love pairing it with like a really warm tone eye. I would often pair it with something like this perhaps, just because it's a little bit more browny, a little bit more cool tone, and I love that contrast. And similarly, this one might have been in last month's favorites. Not entirely sure, but this is the e.l.f. liquid lipstick in Praline, which again has very similar tones. I've just been enjoying these. This one is a little bit lighter and a little bit rosier, and so that's that right there. And that one I think is a good dupe for Kat Von D Lolita. It's a little bit browner, but I also know that that shade kind of changes depending upon what your skin tone is. And nobody talks about the e.l.f. liquid lipsticks, but they're really comfortable. They're not as thin as the Apocalyptic Beauty liquid lipsticks, but they do layer really well and they last really well. You just put on some lip balm beforehand. Like what I do for my liquid lipsticks is before I put on like my entire face, I put on lip balm, then I do the rest of my face and I do my lips last, and by that time like the lip balm has seeped into my lips enough that it won't impact the color that I put on my lips or anything. Long story short, I've been loving these two as well. Okay, let me speed through these last two things. The brush that I've been enjoying is actually the brush from the Urban Decay Naked 3 palette. I've been enjoying both ends of it. I know that a lot of people don't really like the brushes that come in palettes, but I personally love it. Half of my brushes are ones that have come in palettes because I feel like Urban Decay and Anastasia Beverly Hills make really good ones. I use this on my face today, so it's like dirty. But I've been especially loving this end to like do my brow bone. I normally use just kind of like a fluffy, like almost crease brush to do my brow bone, and it's nice, but I love this because it provides a little bit more precision. And I didn't realize that's something that I needed in my brow bone. I like it because, you know, I always do that like last after I do my crease shade and stuff. And before I felt like the color was getting a little bit too down into my crease, so I would have to kind of go back and forth. Whereas with this, I can just use this on my brow bone. It manages to be flat and fluffy all at the same time, so I can use it for both. I can just have a really nice precise like go right under my brow, and it won't impact my crease color because I love having like a really high crease too, and kind of like stopping it right below my brow bone. So that's been really nice. I've also been loving this end to use for like cut creases. Once I put down the stuff for my cut crease, like the concealer or whatever, this end is really nice and precise for packing things on that lid. And the one skincare product, and then I'll do the Pan That palette, and then this video will be over. I've been talking so much. The skincare product I've been loving is the Formula 10.0.6 PM Perfector. I had used this a couple years back. I remembered really liking it, and then I had like run out of my nighttime moisturizer and I was like, oh, I remember liking this, let me try it. It has black currant and licorice, and you just put it on. I just put it on after like I get out of the shower, I put on my vitamin C serum, and then I put on this, and then I use a facial oil. And I think this does a really good job because it does hydrate your skin, but it doesn't like overly hydrate it. I feel like it's been helping with my acne a little bit, especially like my acne scars. That's one of the reasons that I use the vitamin C serum, and this has kind of helped move that along too. I think this is especially good if you have like oily skin, because oily skin needs hydration too, but this provides like just enough hydration. So it's really nice. Okay, now onto my Pan That palette. Here are my updates. As you know, if you've been following this, I've been using the Kat Von D Shade Light Eye palette because I love this palette, but I don't want to support Kat Von D, so I'd like to finish what I have. I have a cute little update because I've hit some pan in the center gray shade. I'm going to credit this entirely to Ready Jet Glow, who gave me the idea that you should use this as a contour shade. So I've been using it. It's been a nice little like subtle contour. I've also been using the matte white shade pretty much every single day as my brow bone highlight. I'm really surprised that I haven't hit pan in it yet, but I also feel like the pans in this are a lot deeper than what they look like from the surface. So I think my goal in the next month is to make this pan a little bit bigger and to be able to hit pan entirely on this one, like not clear it out, but I would like to see a little bit of that metal in the bottom. So this is what that is looking like. I've been using this to set my under eyes. And I feel like after I hit this, I want to figure out something that I can do in like this quad, because I feel like in terms of like neutral colors, this one is going to be the most difficult for me to get the most use out of. If you have any ideas on how I could use this quad a little bit better, let me know, because normally I just use this quad on its own for my eyes, and I've been getting a little bit more creative with my eye makeup recently, so I haven't felt like doing that. So let me know what you think. Okay, well after all that talking, I definitely need some water. So that is it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. Please be sure to give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, and subscribe down below if you want to see more stuff from me, and I will see you on my next one. Hope you all have a wonderful day. Bye!